not new in medical care. Conventional use of medical oxygen nasally and as ventilators is indicated in emergency conditions. Ozone therapy has been in use since the 19th century. However, the use of molecular hydrogen is less well known. Hello and many thanks for joining us on another episode of Health Options. Molecular hydrogen is the simplest and smallest molecule in nature. It is smaller than oxygen and has higher bioavailability in crossing the cell membrane. Molecular hydrogen can be administered or taken via inhalation and in drinking water. It is also given in tablet form and dissolves in water. Medical research in the last 3 decades has shown that molecular hydrogen, when used as an adjunct therapy, has benefits in many disease conditions. What are these disease conditions? Are there side effects from hydrogen therapy? Join us as we beam our searchlight on this little known but very effective gaseous therapy on this episode of Health Options. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi, Abdallah. Stay tuned as you will get to meet my guest in just a moment. This is Health Options and our focus is hydrogen therapy, and I'm now being joined by my guest, integrative medicine expert, Dr. John Tor Abide. Thanks for joining us on Health Options. Dr. Tor, it's good to see you again.
My pleasure, Rabi. It is always good to be with you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's get started. Maybe just start by touching a bit on gaseous therapy before you narrow it down to the topic of discussion, which is hydrogen therapy.
Well, thank you very much, Rabi. As you said in your introduction, gaseous therapy is not really new in medical care. We've already known about oxygen. Unfortunately, when you go to the hospital and you see a patient on nasal oxygen, you think, you conclude that he's almost at the terminal end of life. But we also have ozone therapy, which is also a gas. In chemistry, if you look at what we call the periodic table, where all the elements are arranged, you see that hydrogen is number 1. And it has a valence of 1. Means hydrogen is the smallest molecule that you can find. So today, unfortunately, many people do not know about molecular hydrogen therapy, but I'm glad to report that today, if you go on what we call clinicaltrials.gov, that is a website that reports all clinical studies that are done. There are over 1,000 clinical studies that have been done on molecular hydrogen. Thus, today we see that its application in both therapeutic and prophylactic uses in management of disease is well accepted. There are over 150 diseases that hydrogen therapy addresses, and it has so many other benefits.
So, can you take us through some of the disease conditions that this molecular hydrogen therapy could be administered on or used to address or treat?
Yes, let me also use this opportunity to make a clarification or to do some education here. Most people, when you say a particular element can be used in many diseases, people will say, how is it that one single element or compound
has answers to so many elements?
They have this. But let's take us back to what we call the molecular mechanisms of understanding disease. Okay. Disease, to us in integrative medicine, is nothing but decreased ability of the body cells to utilize oxygen. Hydrogen, as we say, is the smallest molecule that is found in nature. With this, in your introduction, you had earlier mentioned that it is more bioavailable. That is bioavailability. Let me explain what that term means. Bioavailability means that its ability to penetrate, the cell. Anything we are taking, be it medications, food, or this thing, unless finally it is able to cross the cell membrane and produce whatever we need in terms of gene transcription or in terms of energy, which is very important. The powerhouse of the cell is known as the mitochondria. So oxygen, being the smallest molecule, penetrates
Did
the
you say
cell membrane
oxygen or
quickly.
hydrogen?
Sorry.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Yeah.
Oxygen is also equally important. Actually, we knew about oxygen more than
yeah.
hydrogen.
That's
So
true.
please, I'm referring to hydrogen. So hydrogen, when it penetrates the cell membrane, it goes directly to the mitochondria. That is the powerhouse, the part of the cell that produces energy. And if you look at the biochemistry for energy production, hydrogen is added at the last step of ATP production. That is, the energy currency is known as ATP. So without hydrogen, you see that ATP cannot be produced. So consequently, if we look at disease as lack of energy production and the cell cannot function, and the hydrogen comes in and boosts energy production, that's why you see its application in almost 150 diseases.
Okay, no wonder.
Don't get me wrong here.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, how
Let
do you
me
get...
make a clarification. And when we say that hydrogen is used in the treatment of over 150 diseases, it does not mean it should be hydrogen alone. Treatment of disease is a multifaceted approach, and that tells me medicine has actually evolved over ages. Today we are practicing what they call medicine 3.4. The emphasis is more on prevention of disease. This is to say that you have what you call emerging diseases. In the past, the main problem that humanity was confronted with was infectious diseases, such as bacteria, that led to the development of antibiotics. So with antibiotics, you can easily treat bacteria and the disease is gone. But today, we have multifaceted types of biomechanisms that have developed to neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, hypertension.
Yeah,
These are
all the NCDs, non-communicable diseases.
Yes, and the non-communicable diseases, as you would put them. There is no single agent approach that you will just target. That's why it should be multifaceted.
Okay.
The fact that I said, hydrogen is used in this disease, it should be used in combination with other pharmaceutical, products.
Okay, yeah, because that settles it, because I was just wondering how hydrogen alone could be used to address, so many numerous diseases at a time. Yeah, hydrogen, how is this administered?
There are several ways of administering hydrogen, but I'll focus on two, which are the most commonly used. Hydrogen can be administered by bubbling it through what we call a hydrogen generating water bottle, like this. This is a hydrogen water bottle, and then there is certain mechanisms of electrophoresis that generates, oxygen, generates hydrogen that mixes with this water, and then you can take it, just like I'm taking it. That is one way which you can take hydrogen. Then, the most effective way, or another important way, is via inhalation. Just like we use nasal cannula to administer oxygen, the same nasal cannula, you can use it connected to a hydrogen generating machine that it is producing hydrogen, then you can take it nasally. This way is known to be very effective because it reaches what we call the plasma concentration level faster. And usually the concentration of molecular hydrogen is expressed in mils per minute. And ideally, it should be delivered at 120 to 240 milliliters per minute for you to achieve an effective hydrogen concentration in the body.
Okay, so
There are other ways of...
Okay, we come back to those other ways, Doctor,
Okay.
but let's just take a break at this point. This is Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health, but helps you with the information you need to make informed choices about your health. Let's take this commercial break. The program continues right after that. Join us again.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile, make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when our nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms, because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
Welcome back. So we continue with our discussion. Before we went on that break, Doctor, you were trying to feed us into the many ways this molecular hydrogen could be administered in people as a therapy. So let's hear some more about on it.
Well, other ways of administering, hydrogen, if you look at one of the benefits of, hydrogen, is that it is used in rejuvenating the skin. Its importance in anti-aging. And thus you see that in Japan, for one, where there's a lot of beautification using, hydrogen, because hydrogen has the benefits of stimulating, the collagen and the increasing blood flow. Hydrogen can be administered topically. You go to spa. There are what you call hydrogen spa. You can lie there just like you are being massaged with, hydrogen. It is able, because of its small molecular size, it penetrates, the skin readily and impacts, the metabolic benefits of rejuvenating, the skin, enhancing, energy production, and enhancing also collagen, production.
Okay.
So it's used in spa. Dermally, it is very much promoted, especially in Japan.
Okay, so it will be interesting to have you tell us, those disease conditions. I know I had asked you earlier on, but I don't think you've actually touched on that. We would like to know, here you talk about those disease conditions that molecular hydrogen therapy could be used to treat, especially the ones that were, conversant with around this climb.
Today, it's on record that the #1 killer disease are cardiovascular diseases, although cancer is now competing with it to come #1. But cardiovascular diseases such as, stroke, hydrogen has very important role in its treatment. Then I've already mentioned cancer. There is diabetes. There is arthritis. Molecular hydrogen can also be used in management of neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Also, molecular hydrogen therapy has been effectively employed in management of attention deficits, especially in children. Then hydrogen can be used in different dermatological conditions too. It is used as an adjunct therapy. So if I can go through the list of 150 diseases, maybe we need another session.
Okay.
But just take it and appreciate the fact that with almost every known disease that we know here, hydrogen therapy can be applied, and it will be very, very beneficial. It has been shown through clinical studies, and in places like Japan, is being used widely.
Okay, well, I'm just curious. Let me just pick one of these diseases you had outlined. Stroke, for instance. How do you get to apply that in the treatment of stroke?
Well, as I said, the most effective way for applying, hydrogen therapy is via inhalation. Okay. But in cases like that, you would like to do a combination of the inhalation route as well as drinking it directly via water. So stroke patients can be connected to nasal cannula, and then you give high concentration of hydrogen, and it will really help them. Remember, I said that it improves in blood flow, blood circulation. It also improves in so many other factors.
Okay, what about the aspect of radiation now, for people who get exposed easily to environments where radiation is high? Thank
you for bringing up
yes,
that.
Because in my research I came across it.
Yes, I know you research a lot.
That's why I'm asking.
Honestly, as I said,
and because of my working environment too,
mentioned that in fact molecular hydrogen therapy can be used in protecting us against radiations. It is also used in attenuating the toxic effect or the side effect of even chemotherapy in management of cancer. So it is effectively used in preventing us against radiations.
Can you explain further how that works, especially the aspect of chemotherapy in the treatment of cancer?
Yes, chemotherapy is one of the choices that we use, or medical doctors, oncologists use in management of cancer. But you see, the number one thing we all know is that it has its own shortfalls of having side effects, because it destroys both the normal cells and the immune cells. As I mentioned, some of the benefits of molecular hydrogen therapy, it acts as antioxidant. It also stimulates the immune system. It also enhances metabolic activities. One of the key things that patients being treated with the chemo calm down, they lack energy. They become weak, and this is what leads to the cells falling apart and not being able to perform as much as they should.
So just for clarification here, are you saying if someone is undergoing chemotherapy in the treatment of cancer, it's advisable to maybe introduce or what do you call it, or just introduce hydrogen therapy along with it? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely.
Okay.
Rabi, and thanks for bringing that. One of the ways which integrative medicine looks at management of cancer, even if you are using chemotherapy, you should help the body, especially the immune system, to be up, so that when chemo comes to kill them,
the cancer cells,
yes, they can still survive. Actually, it has been shown that if you use molecular hydrogen and you give chemo, you will only use it in smaller doses. One of the side effects of chemo is that it is used in very high doses. So antioxidant that actually helps mobs up what we call the free radicals, or also create as a result of free radicals, create a state which is known as oxidative stress that leads to also disease. Molecular hydrogen therapy ameliorates oxidative, stress, and also as an antioxidant scavenges, that is, mops up, free radicals.
Interesting. You're watching Health Options. Another break beckons. Don't go away, as there's still much more for you to know about the benefits of hydrogen therapy.
Taste.
Thanks for staying tuned to Health Options. So I want to find out if there are side effects that come with hydrogen therapy. I'm talking about the issue of toxicity and all of that. What do we know? Well, what should we know?
Rabi, that is a very good question, and let me put it emphatically that molecular hydrogen therapy or hydrogen as an element has not been shown to have any biological toxicity. And I'm glad you mentioned you did chemistry. If you look at that
as a subject in college,
as a subject
in college, yes.
Okay, very good. See, you have to look at elements and compounds, especially this natural product. That's why the emphasis is now on use of natural, products. If you look at the chemistry of molecular hydrogen,
yeah.
It is very, very small. Usually the problem with drugs is when they go into the body and has to go to the liver phase, what we call biotransformation. You have phase 1 and phase 2 reactions so that you can convert this chemical product or this compound to its active form so that it can go and exert its effect on specific receptors. Hydrogen, like oxygen and ozone, they don't have any receptors in the body. All that molecular hydrogen does, apart from the advantage of it penetrating the cell membrane quickly and getting into the mitochondria to exert other biochemical activities, it does not do any other harm in the body. Rather, it is good that it aids in production of energy in form of ATP. It has so many benefits. It stimulates the immune system. It is anti-inflammatory. It is anti-oxidant. All these properties mop up, free radicals.
And it is anti-aging, like you said.
Of course, anti-aging.
Okay.
See, anti-aging, that is another trick of it. All that you do in anti-aging is to go and, since molecular hydrogen stimulate production of, collagen, you have no new tissue formation. Since molecular hydrogen stimulates what I call autophagy. It goes and takes out all those weaker cells, they die, and new cells, start generation, making you look younger.
So thank you so much. It's been quite interesting dwelling on this topic, molecular hydrogen therapy. Thank you so much, Dr. Abide, for making our time to be with us on Health Options. It's been quite interesting indeed. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
The pleasure is always mine. Create more of these opportunities so that we can educate, the public. And I like, the name of the program, Health options. There are other options.
Thank you so much. This is where we conclude this episode of Health Options. A quick reminder that you can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of this and previous episodes of the program. My name is Rabi Abdallah. Thanks for watching. Be good and stay safe.
Information is power. Everyone wants